NFP came out. Okay. All right, cool. What is good? What is good? Hope everybody is having or had a great week. Today is NFP Friday, which was actually pretty moderate in terms of the volume that we've seen coming off of the NFP news. Um, I just want to let a couple people hop on here before we get into the analysis and the breakdown of what I'm expecting for today and for today's session. But I hope you guys had a good week. We'll be having Sam hop on here in a minute, and Tyler should be able to join us later. So that'll be good. Minaj, what's up? What's up? How you doing, man? How was your week? Wizard, what's up, man? Always good to see familiar faces in the chat. NFP was quite boring today. Upon the release here. It's been a real range bound week for gold. As y'all know, I trade gold more than anything else. I'm actually going to get into the breakdown. So for this week, gold has just been really, really range bound. You can see here that, this entire area has just been ranging for this entire week. And so what does this mean in terms of the market? It just means that it doesn't offer the best risk to reward setups. A lot of the moves that you're going to get are going to be short, smaller time frame moves, playing into that range. We got a good initial move down. I want to say early on in the week. Let's see. Let's open it up here. Let's see the start right here just for a second. So on Sunday, I got a good move to the downside there. On the open, where was it? Here for the continuation. Last Friday, we were looking at sales. I ended up closing my sell position within this area here. I had a stops above it. It ran for about a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward, pulled back and then dropped down. We opened up on Sunday and I was able to get a continuation of that sell from this level here with a stops above, and then just took my take profit. Actually, my area was 45.01. And then take profit was just down to these lows. We pushed through there. And then after that, for the week has just been really choppy. We got a bearish move yesterday. I actually did catch the bearish move. So I hadn't traded gold realistically the rest of the week. And then yesterday I was able to take a trade on gold, which I actually closed early. I literally sold price that came into this area of resistance. Let me extend right here. It tapped into this area of resistance that we had failed to break multiple times. And so I was looking for an actual sell position to the downside. I closed it early, and this is why I closed it early. I thought that we had some news. So I don't trade a swing account, and I was assuming that this is where my stops was above right here. And I got in literally on this 15-minute close here, stops above there, and I had a take profit set to down here. So I thought that I had news that we couldn't trade, I guess you could say. So when price was within this level here or this pullback, I actually closed. And the crazy thing about it is it was already two things. One, we didn't have news, so I didn't have to close the trade. And two, it was already 8:30. So at that point I was going to be chalked anyway. So it might as well just hold it. But I panic closed. I was going to plead my case if anything. But yeah, so it wasn't a bad trade. I ended up getting about a little over a 1 to 2 risk to reward. I definitely would have wanted the 1 to 3. that it was going to offer, and didn't get anything of this continuation sell to the downside. But in terms of what we're looking at today, price is remaining in this relatively bearish structure. You can see with the release of the NFP news, we got a move to the downside here. Overall, very low volume week in terms of just market movement for gold. But there were still opportunities. It's just very few and far in between, and they didn't really offer the highest risk to reward in terms of long-term volume. But in terms of like Nas, for instance, we've seen Nas had made a bullish move. I want to say it was late yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or the day before. I can't quite remember. Oh, I wasn't really on the charts yesterday. Let me go here. Let's go back to the daily. So we had got this bullish move after a break here. You can see Nas is at all-time highs currently. We broke through this level here, and it was this bullish daily. So not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. I actually wanted to see that bullish move to the upside. Didn't quite get in where I would have wanted to for this continuation move. I took buys within this area here, got literally wicked out, and then price began to run up, and I didn't look at it again after that. And yesterday we had a bearish move to the downside, but relatively low volume. Now it's just trailing or trading at all-time highs right now currently. Closed CAD CHF today, decent movement. Closed GJ and EU. Didn't realize they were affected by non-farmers like that. Let's take a look. Yeah, so we definitely did get some volume here on EURUSD. I personally only trade gold. I trade EURUSD as well. That's about it in terms of currency pairs. I used to trade all of the currency pairs, but now I just focus on the two. I've actually just recently added Nas into the mix because as FunderPro looks to add incorporate futures, Nas or NQ, I guess you could say, is something that I'll be looking to trade. NQ and gold there. Did anybody else take any trades? Anything good this week? Bitcoin hit an all-time high. I know the Bitcoin holders are extremely excited about this. 100 and what, 4,000 is where it nearly topped out at before forming a corrective structure. Not a lot of volume in terms of today though for gold, which is what I'm looking to trade. Let's dial it down and see if we can't find a move here or what's going on, build the story. So with that initial move yesterday that I was looking for, we got this sell to the downside. It did something that was quite important. It broke through a key low. So let me just mark this out here. It broke through these lows. Let's pull this up here. So when we pushed through and broke through this low here in particular, you can see that price created a high, created a low, created a new high, came back down, created a low, broke through this high, it came back down. This low had not broken through this low. We got a corrective structure relatively throughout the whole entire week, a very, very slow move to the upside. And how do we know that this is an indication that price can push to the downside? Why? We had an impulsive move down and then a very slow and low volume move to the upside. How I see it is like price trying to run up a hill. Essentially every time it tries to run up a hill, it just cannot get to the top, and eventually it just has to come back down. And when it did come down, it broke through a key low here, making this now in a bearish structure, a relative bearish structure within this rangy market. It's not the cleanest price action, but essentially that's what it is. So now that we've broken through this low, this becomes our essential key high. Well, technically this becomes the key high. Excuse me. But we're seeing that price pushed down through this low here. We're getting a corrective structure. And then what happened at this area is relatively or particularly important to me. So how I do it is obviously we look at the larger time frame trend direction, which we just confirmed is now in a bearish move to the downside after a relative corrective structure to the upside. Now, how do we scale into this move? And how could we have scaled into this move, being that we've been able to trade NFP? So when price came back up to this level, because we need to see some form of a corrective structure. After you get a break of a low, especially a key larger time frame low, you're generally going to see a correction form. It's similar to why we see Nas forming a correction now. We had a huge run up to the upside, which created an all-time high. Then what happened? We pushed through, we broke through the kilo. So we had a high created, a low, a new high broke through that, came down, new high. This becomes the key low. Once it broke through this area here, even if you dial down to the smaller time frame, you'll see how after we broke through this level, price sort of corrected it, kind of consolidated, and then pushed to the downside. Now confirming that it went from now being in a bullish trend to a now bearish trend. This becomes our key high, and you want to see some type of correction and potentially a steeper move to the downside. I'm not saying that it couldn't go higher, but I'm just saying that's what the structure currently shows. So specifically, if we jump back to gold here, price pushed down, we broke through our key lows, and now we got a corrective structure. We retested a key area where we had resistance, and then something interesting happened. We formed what I will refer to as a change of character. Price came up, created a high, created a low, broke through this high. This now becomes my key low on my smaller time frame. We broke through this low, now showing that price is switching from being in a bullish trend to now being in a bearish trend. We have this huge gap to the downside here. It's likely that we can see some type of correction, and how I would have loved to take this trade, being that it wasn't an NFP Friday. Had it been a regular day, you know, within this supply zone, after price forms this bearish move, and you can see that with NFP, we kind of got that spike to the upside to tap into this area. If this was a regular market structure, how this looks on the smaller time frame would have just been a corrective structure. So it would have been price continue to create higher highs and higher lows. We likely could have seen a steeper move down, but it would have just pushed up in here. And likely in a normal market structure, a 5-minute candle bearish close, similar to the move that I took yesterday at that same area, a stops above the high, and then we target back down to the overall low, which would be well down here. So, but today was NFP, so we see that pullback in form of a spike, a high volume spike, pushed into that demand zone, and now filling this gap to the downside. It's similar to exactly what I wanted to see yesterday when we had this gap. Essentially, it was on a smaller time frame, but this gap after tapping into a key resistance that we failed to break for the third time, looking for price to go ahead and push down through the low. Same as this here, I would have this low as my target for it to continue pushing in the direction of what we assume is the larger time frame trend, because you know that we, on this larger time frame here, we kind of been ranging, but we're in now a bearish structure. This was low volume, impulsive move, corrective structure, impulsive move, correction, continuation. That's at least what that's what I do. So what's the difference in using non-pro and the pro symbols? I couldn't like definitively tell you. Um, I just didn't use the pro symbols. I didn't see any difference in like charts or price action. I'm assuming that there's no difference, but there's I assume like with TradingView, you can have a bunch of different, I guess you can say, well, this is not TradingView, obviously, but with different accounts or different platforms, you're able to have different brokerages. So they're sometimes the markets are a little bit different, but in terms of the Trade Locker and the XAU Pro and versus the non-pro, I didn't see any difference in price action. So I just went the regular, I guess you can say. So in terms of the move for today, being able to scale in for a continuation is what would be ideal. Now, I'm not too inclined to trading on Fridays just in general, but a pullback within this area here, as long as we don't break through this high, because on this smaller time frame, we had our market shift where price broke through our key low. Why is this our key low? If you're confused on why I made this our key low, this was our high. This was the low that started the break for this high. We got a correction. Then we pushed up and created a new high. My key low is indicative of the lowest point that started the break for the new high. So once we get a break through the key low, it just now means that price is switching from being in this bullish trend that it was in to now being in a bearish trend. You can look for a correction to the start of the break for the key low. This now becomes our key high. You don't want to see this high get broken. If this high gets broken, this would be a liquidity grab, and then we would likely see, or a fake break, I guess you could say, and a continuation. But if this high is in fact respected, it's likely that you'll go ahead and see a break of the previous low there. And we have this gap to the downside, so that's also a good sign. So since we've now gotten this breakthrough, if we get a correction, this now becomes our key high, and then a continuation. That's when I'll be looking to scale into low risk, because like I said, I'm not inclined to trade in Fridays. And why I'm not inclined to trade in Fridays is because I like to be able to hold my positions. I don't like the fact that to hold or take positions into a closing market, me personally. But this is an opportunity that can present itself, going forward for gold. So that's what I'll be looking for today. Is there any markets that you guys want to take a look at, tap into? I know Wizard said he was trading CAD, CHF, GJ, EU. I tapped into EU a little bit. We've seen quite a spike on EU in terms of market direction. And this is something that happens often. So with high volume news, moves like this where you'll see a high volume spike in one direction, and we're looking at the 5-minute time frame here on the release of the news, and then throughout the rest of the session you'll see a hard reversal. And it goes one of two ways: either we'll see a hard reversal and a pullback, or you'll see some type of correction and a continuation, depending on what the larger time frame structure is indicating. We haven't really dialed it up here to see where we're at here on EU. Let's take a look on the daily time frame. So on the relatively ranging here on the daily, we're seeing that yesterday that we had quite some volume that come into the markets for EUR USD. And what did it do? It broke through a high. It broke through all of these key highs because price was in a relative downtrend. And then what it do? It broke through a high, which was the start of the break of this low here. So how I can kind of describe that.
What's up?
Sam? What's good? What's good?
So yeah, I'm a bit late for everyone who just realized I just came along here. My audio is a bit screwed up. I've been trying to resetting everything on my computer, but yeah, I can hear about everything down to 95% of volume. So you're gonna have to scream in this this live.
Nah, it sounds good. It's all good. So I was just breaking down EUR USD and kind of what it did here, following NFP, kind of why we starting to see that correction. So if we're looking at it on the daily time frame, price created a low, created a high, created a new low. This becomes now the key high. It hadn't broke through this high, respected it, pushed back down off of that supply zone. But then we seen with the NFP news, we had a break of that high. And I was mentioning to you guys, when we get that key structure shift, we generally see a correction following shortly after it. And in this case, with the high volume news, it was followed immediately after. So we broke through the high with the spike up and immediately began to correct to the downside. So how I personally trade news, I like to wait for the spike of the news and trade based on the volume that comes after it. So identify or understanding that we had just broke through a key high, and once you get on the smaller time frame, because in order to trade the news, you have to trade it on a smaller time, or not to trade the news, but to trade the after effects of the news, you got to be able to dial down to the smaller time frame in order to see the structure. So price created this high here, came down, created a new high, pushed down here, then it broke through this low. Once it broke through this low, that's now our market shift. And we understand that we got a ton of volume and this huge gap to the downside to fill. Entry after this bearish candle close would have stopped, above this area here at this resistance that we were retesting. Would have been a great entry for a continuation down. And I just target the lows here. So this is an area you could even target these equal lows within here, which would have been a great entry for that continuation move to the downside. And why I target areas like this or potentially this low here is because if this is going to continue in a bullish trend and you do see, in fact, price comes into this level, let's say price comes into this level because this is the start of the initial big bullish move, and you see a change of character here where price creates a high, creates a low, and then breaks through that high. Now we have a market shift and price could actually continue pushing in the direction of the initial spike. But you can see that that didn't happen in this area here. We got a little bit of a correction, a continuation. It kind of consolidated here, pushed down, pushed back up to retest that area and continued. And more recently, I want to say right in here, actually our key low still ends up being up here because we never got a full correction. Why is this not our key low? Because this push down never broke through this low. If it would have broke through this low here, now we have ourselves a market shift. But that one minute detail of it not breaking through this low makes this not a valid key high. And that's just ways that you can invalidate structure so that you don't get confused on what the actual direction is, at least based on a smaller time frame structure. And this is something that you can use with any different structure. Sam, is there anything that you were looking at today? I don't know that we would be able to share your screen, but
Yeah, I can show my
yeah.
screen. Let's see
Oh,
here.
okay, word.
Yeah, I just tried to figure out the audio, so I wasn't paying attention
Oh
to
no, you're
sharing
good.
my screen. But yeah,
You're
I'm
good.
looking at this on NQ.
I don't know that I'll
One
be able to
interesting
switch
fact that
to
I
your
realized today. Sorry, what?
I don't know that I'll be able to share your screen. Tyler has control of that. So you said you're looking
Oh
at
yeah, that's
NQ.
true. Yeah, but I'm looking at NQ basically. If you pull up the 1 hour chart,
The
so we
1
are
hour.
trading into a big supply. However, I'm not gonna, be stupid enough to short this market straight up,
Yeah,
considering we are very, very bullish. But
a
I
lot of volume.
wanted, Fridays are a bit. I wouldn't say lower volume, but the market tends to, reverse on Fridays. So my initial thought today was that we were gonna break that low that you just have your arrow at. Yeah, exactly that low. And I was on Edgeful and I found a report that said that on Fridays, and this is backtested over a year, that if we break below on Fridays, previous day's low, there's a 90% probability that we are gonna close bearish. So I would somehow want to see a rejection of that 1 hour supply that we are kind of trading into right now. Seeing the market structure shift going downwards, breaking that low, that would be a good setup for a short. Because if NQ were about to go short, I think it's going to fall from a cliff. We have a lot of room to play this short if it plays out, of course. But looking at the market right now, we are just continuing going bullish. So right now, I'm just being patient. And I haven't heard much about what you said on gold, considering I was just trying to fix my audio.
Oh no, you're
But
good. You're good.
yeah, gold has been it's been ranging for quite a while. It's been so annoying. So
Yeah.
I actually haven't found a setup in, I think, uh, over a week. It's just been ranging on the daily, 4 hour, an hour.
Yeah, no, it
So
has. The 4
it's
hour has
been
been
tough.
brutal in terms of the range. This 4 hours
Yeah.
doesn't offer very many opportunities right here. And it's important to note, like, in times like this, you don't have to like force trades. Like, it's okay to either not take a trade or to reduce risk in times where the markets are not necessarily ideal. Is at this
Yeah.
point it becomes, you obviously want to make profits if you can when the opportunities present themselves, but it also becomes protecting capital. I would much rather trade into a markets that's flowing like this and up like this than to trade in this, kind of consolidating markets, especially since we've just been kind of inside of this, this range here um, for quite a while, just really just sideways movement here. And so it depends on obviously how we begin to move here. If we're going to break, higher or lower, as of right now, the market appears to be, taking a stab at lower. So we'll see how that goes here. Let's take a look on the smaller time frame
Yeah, I think we're gonna go.
at this
I mean, I think we're
continuation
gonna
of
go
that gap.
lower on gold. We have a bit of room to play with to that lower demand area.
Yeah, and this is kind of what I meant here to see. What time is this? Did this 5 minute candle close? This closed at
Yeah, that's a good break and
9:25.
retest.
Yeah, just to fill this gap down, especially after already showing the indication that price, we created a high, we created a low, created a new high, then it broke through this low here. With NFP, we got a retest of the supply zone and then a continuation broke through this low, and all that this, break and retest would just be, kind of a continuation to fill this. Well, it kind of already tapped into this level here, but this gap to the downside with all this clean price action.
Yeah, have you taken any trade?
This week,
Yeah.
yeah. So I took 2 trades on gold. So I took a trade Sunday on gold. It was I sent it to the chat because I was having technical difficulties with execution. Uh,
Oh
let's
yeah, I
see.
think I remember that one.
Yeah. I want to say, oh
Um,
yeah, right here. So on the market open. So Friday for last week's Friday session, I got disconnected, but I was in a sell move to the downside of from within here after we had got a breakthrough this. Okay, let me just kind of explain it. We had got a breakthrough this low here. Price had pushed up, broke through this low, corrected back up. I took a sell with a stops above the high. And then my target was this resistance here. You can see it better on the 15-minute. Specifically, I told you in the chat it was 26.47.50. Like that's how I
yeah,
remember the number. uh
yeah, I remember that one.
let me see. 26.47.50. So
Oh yeah, I
47.
drew that one out, I think, on the live when I asked
Yeah.
you in the chat.
So I ended up actually closing that position within this level here. Once price began to range after it got close, and I told myself that it hadn't quite tapped into this level, but it
Yeah.
got close to it. And I was like, I didn't want to see a pullback and a continuation up. And plus, it was Friday, so I didn't expect much. So I closed there, and we ended up pushing closer to the downside. And then when market opened on Sunday, that take profit would have been hit essentially. So after that move, I just wanted to get in on a continuation. So that Sunday when the market opened, after this candle closed bearish, this 15-minute candle closed bearish, I just got in for the continuation. Um, and I got in on this neck. I think I got in closer to the top of this here. And I just set my stops above and then targeted this low here. So that was the
Yeah, that's a
target. And
solid one.
so I think, and actually it was crazy because my trade didn't get, executed here. I had a TP set, and that's when I was having the technical difficulties. But when I woke up the next morning, it was like 4:30. It was right here, literally at my take profit. So I was able to close it right there manually.
Yeah.
And then you can see it
Oh,
just
dude, imagine if you just overslept one
yeah, no
hour and you
facts.
got stopped
And if
out.
if I wouldn't have went to the gym dead, I wouldn't have seen it.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
that was risky.
but after that, I took one trade yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. But it still moved down. Okay, so yeah, price had created this low, created a high, came down, created a new low. It was rejected off of this high here. So when this 15-minute candle closed bearish, this was literally the second trade I took on gold this week. So I took a trade Sunday and then didn't take a trade again and took a trade yesterday. But I actually closed this trade. It's crazy how this one happened, actually. This was my target here, the low. So with this trade, I thought we had news and it didn't even really matter because I was already like it was already 8:30. So and we did have jolts, but I didn't know if it was restricted or not. So we did have like a spike up and with this 8:30 candle here and it pushed down and I closed like within the spike because I didn't
Oh
want,
man.
to breach because of, trading through news.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna plead my case if I was already there, but then it pushed down through, this low, which was my take profit, and I actually had some personal matters to handle. I wanted to check up on, one of my friends, and so I wasn't on the charts when all of this continued to move to the downside. But it was just yeah, it's just been a range bound week realistically for gold here, not offering the best trade setups.
No.
Um
Yeah, I tend to have a hard time trading ranges. My strategy is very, trend bound. So I rely on, heavy trends, trading at all-time highs, and
Mhm.
stuff. And gold has been rallying for quite a while, but recently, it's been very tough. So I've been just sitting here on my hands. I've been
Yeah,
heading into a
yeah,
lot of NQ. Tyler has been getting me into the NQ here
yeah,
because
Yes,
and
he's
gold
ripping
isn't
out of the
keeping
has
gate
off
been
today.
delivering.
Silent Ray says, "Does this happen every day to live stream?" So no, we live stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and each stream we have a relatively different crew on, so you get value from all different areas and all different aspects, which I think is pretty beneficial. So not every day, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday all at the same time, 9:15 Eastern Standard.
Yeah, I can't really hear you guys that much, but I'm gonna try my best.
Nas is ripping out of the gate.
Yeah, it's
I'm
flying.
watching for I'd like to see pullbacks to 21,588 on the futures chart.
Are you gonna go long?
If we can get a pullback to 21,588, that shows signs of holding, I'll probably take a long stab. But I need to level. We just busted through the level, so I'd like us to come back and test it before I hop in anything.
Have you guys checked Bitcoin?
Yeah, I think it's at
Yeah,
99.
yeah.
Yeah, it dropped below. My duty went
Indeed,
down
indeed.
to 90K.
It did almost immediately. And this is what happens when you're in these all-time highs, you know, that correction, especially after hitting a milestone of 100K. You get that volume for the FOMO after 100K, and then, that immense correction of, people liquidating their positions.
Oh wow, USD actually tapped into my sum. No way, dude.
You said who?
That's a
Tyler,
good
you could
trade.
be able to share his screen so he can
Oh,
show what
yeah.
he's talking about.
Oh shit, wait. I have
Okay.
to put it up again. So yeah, if you guys don't remember, I called this out on the live that I wanted to look for this area for shorts on your USC, and we actually just tapped into it and rejected. But I wasn't looking and I didn't set any alarms. So, gotta eat this one up. That was a good reaction. I think this was this pre-market? Yeah, this was the news that came out. The NFT news. Let's see on the lower time frame if there was possible entry here. Maybe 1 minute. Yeah, oftentimes, you know, when news comes, price tends to spike up in my areas. I don't know why. It's like a magnet, the supply and demand for news. So that would have been a good trade once we got this break. I think it failed to break this high 2 times. Oh, that's such a bummer that I missed that one. I might actually catch a re-entry here if price gives me some pullback. But we didn't break the low, which is unfortunate. I would want to see a break low here. Yeah, this 1 hour is... What you think, boys? The 1 hourly wicks.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just into my charts over here.
Good morning, good morning. It's so weird for me to say good morning because I'm the only one here in Europe.
It's like the evening.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna look.
Do y'all see the Nas?
Yeah, she's ripping, man. I'm mad I'm not in anything.
Just broke through the high, the all-time high.
Yeah. Yeah, if I need like a 40-point pullback before I want to hop in. But I don't know if it's going to give it to me. It might just be a runaway day.
Yeah, she's ripping up.
I feel like of all the assets to trade this week, this probably was, you know, the best one.
Yeah, she's out of the indexes, it's had relative strength. It's definitely been the strongest index throughout the week.
Hey, Tyler, when you look at relative strength, do you look at individual stocks within that index, or do you look at, you know, the other indexes correlated?
So I think you could do both. Like relative strength is something that like I would apply when it came to trading options. But I also then consider, like relative strength among the indexes too. So like that's what I was referring to there, is that the NASDAQ has been strong this week compared to US 30 and SPX and the rest. The SPX has been strong too. It's also at all-time highs, but
Yeah.
the NASDAQ has played a little bit of catch up this week, been the strongest one.
Yeah, I might look for shorts on your USD here.
I like it.
Got this rejection in my supply zone, and now we're trading back into... I mean, we are trading inside a range here, or a previous range which caused a high, low, and then we're coming back. And oftentimes when it fails to break the upside and then comes straight back down, we're going to see a test to the downside. Just really can't see a good entry here. I mean, you could go for this one, but
yeah, I may look to go short on gold.
Are you going short gold?
Yeah, it depends. If we get I would love to see a pullback into the supply zone. and then a bearish 15-minute candle close. I'll be inclined to go in short.
SPX is trading right at yesterday's high, currently getting a little rejection. Nas starting to see a pullback, but not a very big one. First red bar on the day in the New York session for Nas, 5-minute red bar. Currently hasn't closed yet. A wise man once said the first 5-minute red bar of the day normally gets reversed. For my futures traders, I hate the look of RTY longs right now.
What is RTY? I seen somebody trading it the other day.
It's the Russell index. So it's the small cap stocks.
Gotcha.
I'm actually gonna look this up. But Sam, you were just talking about relative strength, and you asked if I use that with stocks or not. And I've talked about like sympathy trades by like watching like big tech earnings and stuff. But Stock Market Wolf just posted a video about certain names and like how much of the NASDAQ they make up. And so if you look at like, let's see, hold on, I'm gonna see what they are. So yeah, Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta. So like Apple makes up nearly 9% of the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
Nvidia is a little over 8%, Microsoft 7%, Amazon 5%, Meta 5%. So like you watch those 5 stocks along with the NASDAQ, a lot of the times, they will give you clues as to what the NASDAQ is going to do because they play a big role in why it's moving.
Yeah, that was pretty much the reason why I asked, because you can see oftentimes, the indexes are pulling back hard, but the majority of the biggest stocks within that index, keep somewhat rejecting and keeping it strong. So
when I traded, I still do occasionally, but when I trade options, relative strength is something that we watch a lot. So like say the NASDAQ or ES, they're like weak, right? But like Apple is holding up really well. Or Nvidia is holding up really well in comparison to the index itself. That's kind of like a clue that I would use to maybe go long on that individual stock, because if the NASDAQ or ES can see a bounce, can find some support, the fact that it's holding up when it's weak, normally then it will see even stronger reaction. You just got in Euro USD shorts, it looks like, or have you been in these?
Yeah, I mean, we had this 1-minute rejection. I just waited for the closure of this candle because I didn't want to, get caught up in a fat wick. But we are testing the lowest level of this range, so possible outcome could be that we reject this and continue to range and I get stopped out. So it was an aggressive stop. I should have set it if I wanted for a, much safer trade. Traded above the range, of course, the range high. But considering we've been, respecting this range, I can pull up the 15-minute. Yeah, so around this area, this is the whole downside of the range. I mean, when you see a range, I don't know which trader said this. I think it was Larry Williams, who's one of the greatest traders of all time. I'm not sure if it was him, but it was one of the best traders of all time that said this, that if you have a range like this, I'm actually going to change this instead of lines. It's easier to see. So let's say price breaks above, right, and it fails to, and we come back into the range, and then we test the low, midnight. And then if we break above and then come straight back into this range, we are most likely going to continue to the downside and test the low. I mean, really test it and actually try and break this low. And oftentimes we will see that break. So this is a fake out. Some people call it turtle soup or liquidity sweep or whatever. But you know, the concept is that price don't want to stay out of this range. And the downside with this entry is that I played it aggressively with a stop within the range. So if we continue this range, I'm going to get stopped out. But the idea is that we are going to break here for an aggressive sell trade. I mean, it is Friday and we have had a lot of news today. So that's why I'm thinking that we hopefully can break the low. It seems like we are rejecting a bit. Yeah, let's just see how it plays out.
I did try a RTY long on my futures account, but I haven't taken anything on the FunderPro account. Missed the NAS trade, so still waiting for a pullback on NAS. I'm going to take anything there.
How you guys' week been?
Had a good week. Had a good trading week, yeah.
How was you said you had a 142 high yesterday?
Yeah. So join the bowling league. Last week was my first, or last night was my first week doing it. Yeah, 142 is my best game. Not bad, not bad. I got some room for improvement, that's for sure.
I have fun. As long as you have fun, that's what matters.
Yeah,
see,
it was a good time. It was a good time. Swami said, "I'm ready to purchase 100K, but waiting for a 20% discount."
Dude, what is going on with my audio?
You still can't hear anything?
I mean, it's like it's lowering and upping my volume. I don't know. It's like I'm getting hacked. Someone is just tampering with my audio. It's so weird. I can hear like it's like a 90% reduction in audio. I have it tuned up to 100% in everything within Google Chrome and also on the PC. But yeah, I think it's the headset might be low on battery. I don't know. But I tried AirPods and it was awful.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just
I might just have to restart everything.
Wouldn't want that. Would not want that. You said you couldn't hear anything in your AirPods?
No, the audio was like it was so low quality. It sounded like a robot, you know.
Oh, okay. Where
It was so weird. And I also
Wizard
think that
AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. Sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
No, you're good. But yeah, the AirPods were very bad. I don't think AirPods is good, especially not for a mic as well. They like send this weird loud noise as well, like a ringing noise. So yeah, but I'll manage this live. I'll try and fix it during this weekend. Yeah, it seems like USD is actually breaking here, which could be good.
Nice.
Could be good. It
nice,
is good.
Nice.
Could be good.
Had a nice little retest.
I just jinxed it, guys. Shit.
My RTY trade's sitting at break even. I'm trying to catch a long back up to the opening print. Nasdaq still kind of just trading sideways now in the 2-minute chart near its highs, which I mean I think is the price action you want to see if you're in longs. Just a little pullback into yesterday's highs, what I would like to see before I would like to long it again. Honestly, SPX looks a little bit better for longs right now. It gives a little bit more of a pullback. US 30 is underneath its opening print. So weaker than NAS and SPX currently.
Currently.
Yeah, I might trim my stop loss a bit up. Maybe here. Sorry, I might take profit. trying to figure out where my target should be, but we have this
4
major.
hour looks nice, dude. That looks like a nice 4 hour sell to me.
Yeah, I mean, I should go for this target, and if we somehow reject this level, I could see the potential of us, going upwards and actually breaking the high. But yeah, I don't want to hold this for. I don't think I can, even with the consistency rule.
So
play it safe.
Wizard asked a couple questions. Wizard, will we be able to swing futures at FunderPro? I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll have to see whenever the product goes live. But I don't think you can swing. Most likely can't. None of the futures firms typically allow it. And the fast track, yes, you can swing. So you can hold your trades overnight, Monday through Friday. You just can't hold them over the weekend and through news with the fast track. So I would still say that yes, you can swing. If you hold a trade from Monday to Friday, that's a swing trade in my opinion. And you said, so yeah, the way most futures firms work is you pay like a monthly fee. It's normally cheaper than a Forex challenge. But you pay a monthly fee. And then if you don't pass or fail that account within a month, yeah, you would get charged that monthly fee again. But it's normally a smaller fee. It's not as much as like the price of a Forex account. Man, R2I gave me a little pop there, but failing right now.
Yeah, I'm still kind of just sitting on my hands with this gold.
Also, the thing with futures firms is normally you pay like a smaller fee to take the challenge, and then if you pass, you pay an activation fee, which is also different than Forex, where you can get a refund. So we'll see how they set that up, but which isn't, it's not necessarily a bad thing because you can take the challenges for pretty cheap, and then you only got to pay a little more once you're actually getting funded.
I thought I just wanted to ask, do you know that there is some recording error? I just wanted you to
see that. I came on, I looked for it, and everything looks good on my end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it just said recording error.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. Everything it says recording in progress. Everything looks smooth, so I don't know. I don't know what that was.
We'll check it out later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
Dude, as soon as I entered the market, kind of just flowed down.
You talking? Yeah, in terms of volume.
Yeah, I mean, we had this. I mean, this I would consider this and also this one to be a bit. I mean, more volume, but the moves that we had, during the market open were a bit larger, and now we are just trading within this price range. So I would want to see a bigger move coming in soon. I haven't actually traded EURUSD or any other Forex pairs in quite a long time. So this is my first setup in over a year, I think.
Oh wow, it's been quite a long time, for real.
Yeah. No, I just switched over. I traded a lot of GBP, JPY, but that pair kind of screwed me up because I traded over a weekend when they had like the Japanese. I don't know what it was. It was some decision that happened, and it just caught like 150 pip slippage into the market. So my stop loss was about, I don't know, let's say 1%. I don't know what capital it was, but it was 1% risk, and I got taken out at 8%. So I got pretty spooked out of trading the currencies, but I'm finding my way back here, slowly but steady.
Short looks good. The short looks good. I just want to. I'm putting my screen real quick just to show NASDAQ pushing to new highs on the day. I wanted a little bit more of a pullback I wanted to pull back into this area around yesterday's high. I would have tried a long if we got a pullback to there, but you can see we've got a little 2-bar 5-minute pullback and hit new highs. It's still on long watch for me, but I gotta stay patient on entry.
Yeah, I marked that high as well. I wanted to. I don't know. It's been so tricky trading NQ as well because we haven't had any good pullbacks. I think.
Yeah,
I think we
I
had
agree.
yesterday, but it wasn't that good of a market structure. You know, you couldn't really find any supply or demand. It was just straight up wicks everywhere. And I tend to find it really hard to trade when it's just wicks.
Yeah. Let's see. Today's what price of Thursday, Wednesday. So let's see. Monday we got like a move up, but it definitely was pretty rangy in the morning. Tuesday was the same way. The first 3 hours were a pretty annoying range for the first 3 hours on Tuesday, and then once again we got an end of the day push. Honestly, Monday and Tuesday, if you look at the hourly chart, look really similar. They both had a lot of range the first 3 hours or so, and then gave a end of day pop. And then we had the strong gap up into Wednesday. Wednesday sort of did the same thing where we had some like range the first few hours and then end of day pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
So it's been tricky. There's been nice moves, but like you've really had to be patient in holding them in order for them to work. Which I was able to do. I've been able to do that on some of like my trading futures and stuff this week. So I've had a pretty good week on NQ. I also had the NAS swing trade on the Forex account from Tuesday.
Yeah, dude, you had so many good trades.
Yeah,
Such a sniper, dude.
Yeah, I had a US 30. I had some US 30 winners this week too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've had a solid week all around on my accounts. So keeping it slow today.
Good.
I don't want to chase anything and F up my week.
Yeah, I tried figuring out whether, where this market would pull back into, but I didn't find any solid demand around this area. So we had this low here that I thought that we somehow could respect. I mean, this area somewhat around here, but then also we had like this, the lower areas. But I don't know. The NQ is a bit difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and then when she does decide to trend like this, like it can get so strong that it's like if you're not in it, it's hard to get an entry, and she'll just keep trucking sometimes. And that's what's happening today.
Yeah.
And at this point, it feels like you're chasing, you know.
I mean, also the big bearish candles in this scenario is kind of scary. I mean, if we just see this to the left and we close like this 30-minute candle, I mean, I would want to get out any longs that I've had because this would have spooked me out. But this big wick and then a fat close here. It is a bit spooky, especially if we have like this range bound market and then that breakdown below.
Yeah.
We failed to break the high like 3 times.
Yeah, it feels like we got. Was that the news candle today? That pop that you're looking at right there on the left at 15, or no? That was early.
I think that was Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's almost like we came. It looks like we just kind of came back and maybe. Do we sweep under that low? It's hard for me to tell.
No, this was Monday.
Okay.
So this is Monday. And then this is Wednesday.
Yeah,
that's right. This is Wednesday. I
took a buy during the early New York session and just barely got wicked, and then it bought.
Yeah. I remember this now because I was able to. I was in a long, and that wick that you're talking about, Sam, stopped me out. And then when we started getting buying, I was like, you know what? I think that was a liquidity grab, and I hopped back in.
Yeah,
and was able to catch it.
Here.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's
we got this
that's the one that got me.
If you guys remember.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that in the
Those who
chat.
know,
Yeah.
they know. Yeah, this is just such a bummer. You can't really even get in the market at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
right now
Nas,
you were literally would be buying a brand new all-time high.
Yeah, I mean,
Although
buying here.
SPX looks decent right now, to be honest with you. We're right at yesterday's high. My
Sorry, what? The
RTY
SPX?
trade looks like it's gonna fail. We're at a level. See if it holds.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with trading, you know, especially when you have like missed this and trading the second expansion that's coming. You always have this feeling like, nah, it's not gonna expand that much more. It's exhausted.
It could, but it's
it
just
definitely
like
Yeah,
it looks like
could.
it's
and
going
anything.
to, but
Definitely could. Feel like it's harder. It becomes a little bit harder to trade in those times, and then you got no structure that you can expect some type of pullback or correction off of. So
Yeah.
it's like, how do you set targets? Yeah, we haven't had too much of nothing on gold. I've been sitting here.
Oh, I'm actually gonna
looking
check
at it.
Solana.
Solana. I have a friend who trades Solana.
Yeah, I had a setup, but I didn't trade it because it was, I think, during news, and during news spreads are a bit hectic, so I stayed out.
man, Nas is just pumping, baby. I'm a little FOMO
Yeah,
there.
this was the
The
setup.
SPX, if you took the
This is-
SPX entry I was talking about, it's starting to work. I'll show you the setup I was referring to. This is a 5-minute chart. If you look at that 2-minute chart, got a little bit more consolidation. I was talking about a break of that 2-minute high. This is right where yesterday's high is.
Yeah, that's actually looking good.
So it looks like she may give us a break. You'll see. I also have a level on SPX that's like right underneath here. So I was hoping this pullback would come test it, but we haven't yet. So I'm staying patient on NAS and SPX for right now.
Oh, Urius is about to
TP
test
about
this
to get
level
hit.
that I drew out here. I'm gonna move it to break even.
Oh, like a nice little continuation.
Yeah, and this often happens, you know, when you actually break the high and it fails too. But this is a very big fail to break the high. I mean, it was news, so. But then there was actually a confluence. It wasn't just a random high fail swing high. It was supply zone as well, and then we tried breaking the low. But I wonder. I think we have a low just beneath here. Yeah. So we are pretty much targeting right now. We're reaching for this support. It is really strong around this area. Hopefully we can continue this and actually break the low here. I'm just gonna hold it, set my take profit to try my stop loss to break even and hold for it.
Tried a US 30 long on my FunderPro account.
So what did you enter a?
I tried a US 30 long. I was eyeing it. I was about to enter it.
Yeah,
What's
it feels
that?
like you're kind of transferring from NQ to US 30. It's been a lot of.
It's just I can't get in NQ right now. I missed it, and US 30 is just offering me kind of a better risk to reward right now.
Yeah.
We have a level on YM at 45,037. So that's about 135 points away.
Yeah, dude, you can't be cheating on your baby NQ this much.
Listen, if YM's gonna give me the better opportunity right now, it's all I just take in what it's giving me.
He said he's taking out.
You just take the opportunity. See, that's it.
Is anybody in the chat in any trades?
I got stopped on my futures R2Y long, unfortunately.
Let's see. I want to see gold close bearish on this 15. On this. He said no, he's out.
I don't like this wick here.
I do not like Fridays, man.
Nah, same
Yeah,
here.
it's just tough when you miss this such a strong move for me.
Yeah, it is rough for real. And that feeling of wanting to like FOMO and then you know that I mean we're coming towards, you know, the market close today. And so it's like how many more opportunities are really going to present themselves?
Yeah. VIX is getting a pretty good push here. Looks like maybe a pullback incoming indexes.
Oh wow, come on, you. Don't do me like this.
I do know whatever moves we don't get today, we'll set up for some good moves next week.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys talked about it, but yeah, gold seemed to have some pretty rangy action, so maybe see some stronger movement next week.
Got a little bit of a rejection there from that low sound. Just
Man,
so
SPX wicked the yesterday's high again, where we tried to sell underneath and we're wicking back up above. 5-minute flag.
Yeah, the only thing that keeps me in this trade is this. It could have been a, you know, if we get a wick here and then trade up here and then continue down, that's fine. I mean, I don't think this level is gonna hold. I don't think it's that strong.
Yeah.
If it is, that's fine. I'm out on break even. You know, there's no risk on the table here.
Yeah, that's always good. You protect each other. So at the worst comes to worst, you know, break even, which isn't bad. It says it's almost the equivalent of not trading.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't like taking partials and profits. I know Tyler's very good at, you know, protecting capital and taking off contracts and stuff. But you know, it gets in the way of my mindset. For me, it's just, I don't know, it's fine. If it's a break even, it's a break even. If it's a loss, it's a loss. I can't really handle, you know, trying to take profit and stuff because I think that would screw up my trading. Because otherwise I would probably take some profit here, and then I would get this rejection and then this full, profit. If it reaches here again and actually drops to my full take profit, is going to be, one whole risk reward less. So
yeah, I think it helps me hold the trades better. Just like mentally locking in a little bit of profit and then just being able to let the rest of it work. I think it helps me from a mental perspective that way.
I'm still just waiting on this gold move. It looks like it might even push above the high previous 4-hour candle, at least on Trade Locker appears to have closed bullish. I don't know if that's equivalent with you guys' charts as well.
I'm sorry, what are you looking at?
Gold, did the previous 4-hour for gold for you close bullish as well?
Let me double check. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a 4-hour doji, a pretty decent wick at each end, but yeah, it closed green.
Word. We shall see. We shall see.
Oh man, Nas is just still going, dude. Still going.
Let's see. A failure to, continue to push down from here. We could see a break above this high, which would, for me, be change of the trend direction coming off of that previous 4-hour. We could potentially see some type of move like that. But it just depends.
Interesting spot. I'm not looking at the 4-hour. Looks like, yeah, the trend could be potentially flipping where we're kind of putting in a higher low here and gonna head up, but it's also, you could argue, you're kind of in a 4-hour bear flag for.
Okay. There's literally nothing going on. You said Nas is still going up.
So just holding up. The 2-minute has just been like putting in higher highs, higher lows. We're now starting, the 2 minutes now starting to get a little bit of a flip. But yeah, I mean, we're still, looks like 20 points from the high on the day. Nas is still really strong. SPX still consolidating at yesterday's high. US 30 and the Russell are both the weaker of the two indexes underneath their opening prints. Oh, so we got that.
Trade Locker recently added this alert feature, which is kind of clutch.
Yeah, I've been meaning to use it. I haven't used it yet, but have you been using it?
Yeah, just more recently.
Guys, 12 people watching, maybe response. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I didn't. Yeah, I was looking at my charts. I didn't see the question. Trevor Henry. Jen's good afternoon. Namaste. I've always been pro Funder Pro, but today was the final straw. I was tapped out of a trade that I said I risked and taking over 1%. Trevor, I would open a support ticket with support@funderpro.com. Unfortunately, there's nothing that we'll be able to do for you, but if you open a support ticket with them, they should be able to take a look at your account. I think what I don't think Funder Pro wants you to go full margin. I don't think that's what they want.
See if we can get a bearish 15-minute close. For about a
yeah, Trevor, unfortunately, the obviously that sounds like it'd be super frustrating. So open a support ticket, or if you want to share your email with me, I can share it with a support team member as well.
Yeah. It's just one of those days. Do any of y'all know what the numbers were that were released for NFP? I'm going to take a look here. The NFP numbers. Oh, so it came out as 194K, which was lower than what they expected.
Well, the NASDAQ seemed to like the numbers.
Yeah, it did.
I'm so hungry. I'm going to mute myself and eat this cracker real quick.
This is one of the most, the boring parts of trading is the waiting. It looks all fun and exciting, but sitting here having to wait and wait and wait for a setup that may or may not play out is sometimes agonizing, at least in slow moving conditions as we're seeing now, and that we've seen, all week. This is trading in this range for gold is exhausting. No clear and concise market direction.
I agree.
I was muted.
Very, very, very mentally tiring when you're dealing with a range. I can wear you out mentally for sure.
Yeah, that range on gold has been, in my opinion, one of the worst ranges to trade in, I think, this year, to be honest. I mean, so far we still have a few days left here, but
yeah, this was a relatively super range bound consolidating week.
Sarky said, "Fuck y'all, this is the perfect gold setup."
Yeah, definitely some moments of consolidation and ranging, but I always see that as a good sign because that means a breakout is awaiting in either direction. I mean, gold has just been crazy this year. What is this? November. So this is since the beginning of this year. I mean, you're talking we were at relatively 1979. I guess you could say that was like one of the lows. It was in the lower 2000s, that's for sure. And to now being where we're at, have almost touched you know, 3K, shy of 3K.
Yeah, we're gonna reach 3K. I tweeted out,
For
I think
sure.
4 months ago. Yeah, a few months ago. And I also told my buddies like starting this year that we were gonna go for that 3K push.
Yeah, it just has not been the best week, that's for sure, in terms of for this gold market. There have been moves, definitely, but I mean, they've been tailored to capitalizing on a smaller time frame for one, and it's not really trending, I guess you're gonna say. You got to be able to trade, and in times of range like this, it's best. At least I found it's best to trade in highs and lows. So like yesterday's trade for me was within the high. So this high that we just kept struggling to and failing to break through. You can see we had resistance here, 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 here. And yesterday it was the third time we had tapped into it. So we got one, well, I guess you could say fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each time lower than the next. And so it was just based off of the failure at this high for now to target, into the lows. Obviously, my take profit was just in here, but it definitely ran down. And then from the lows, you want to look for potential buys in ranges like this. But it's been pretty brutal. I can't lie. Can't lie.
You ever heard the Tom Petty song? The waiting is the hardest part.
Getting
There we go.
somewhat
Come
of
on.
a reaction here.
Yes, your USD is pushing. No, not pushing, dropping. We just tapped that low on about, let's see if I can calculate the pips right. It's been a long time. We are 3 pips away from my take profit.
You want to
I
share your
think
screen?
that's the way I put it. I'm not sure if it's 30 pips or 3. No, it gotta be 3. Yeah.
Trevor, I saw you open the support ticket this morning. If if hopefully they'll get you taken care of. If you don't hear back, send me a DM. I can reach out to somebody for you. My social handles are at Risk Life News. I'll put it in here. You can send me a DM on any of those. Try to get you sorted if you don't hear anything back. Man, that's at flag and on ES or SPX is getting pretty tight.
Oh, dude, this setup on your USD was actually quite nice.
You want to share it?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot I'm the
no.
one who has to do that. That's
Oh,
my
yeah,
bad.
No, I just took me out in profit for a 3.5. But, it just came out. I was a bit scared when I saw this. We kind of reversed from, this demand area from before. So that kind of spooked me out. And then Karen mentioned it, and I started tweaking out a bit. But I had my stop loss at break even. Yeah, and it did actually react from this. And the reason why I was so hesitant is because I don't trade like levels like this, support and demand. Not support and demand, that's the completely wrong way. Support and resistance. Sorry, guys. I don't trade it, and I definitely do not trade break and retest. But it kind of works out pretty good. We got this 1 minute momentum started going around here, and then that's when I figured that we were at least gonna try the low again. But yeah, I think this area that we just tapped into, I think in a range of a bit of 5 pips, we do have a support, as you guys can see here. So that's why I took my profit just below here. I don't want to try and squeeze this break of this level here. We also have this. It's just a very strong level at this point. So I'm not going to gamble away that one. But yeah, pretty good profits, especially now. I've been seeing waiting for gold. But gold has been haunting me, so it's worked out. Yeah, I do want to get back into gold really soon. I think 2 weeks ago, I had a good setup, but yeah, I could dabble in some USD as well. It's quite fun.
Yeah, no, that was a good move on EU, getting in on that continuation of that volume following that news.
Yeah. The only downside is, I didn't have any alerts on this set because I think during our live, I thought we were gonna, but this was yesterday. Yeah, I didn't think we were gonna come up this fast into the area because we were kind of ranging down here. So I thought okay, we're gonna tap into this like next year or something. So I figured I wasn't gonna set any alarms, but it did. However, I would have wanted my setup to. I should have traded this around the rejection when we break that low and then we break this low. So probably around this. Get this nice engulfing candle that breaks and closes. But also this risk to reward is 2.3 and the risk reward here is 3.5. So it doesn't matter really. You can kind of find setups as well. That's actually one of my downside. Are you guys comfortable with that? Because my zones, I want to trade like the initial reaction from it. So like this area, I want to be up here entering the market. And once I see like price rejecting and just going off, I just leave it. I don't enter.
Yeah, it depends for me. Like if there's a lot of volume, like with today, I'll take the move that you took today, which what I would consider as a continuation. There's also times where if I do get that initial entry from that area, that I'll scale in on an additional trade at half the risk. Obviously, the first trade will be risk free for me, and then I'll just I'll scale in for that continuation move. But it just depends on what the markets are. If we're like in really trending markets and prices is moving with volume, then yeah, I'll scale in. But if we're in like range bound markets like how gold is, then I'll just be looking to, hold my initial position from wherever.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get better at kind of scaling it because I'm not going to say I full port. That's the wrong output, but once the price rejects my area of interest or I get a closure of confirmation or anything, I just enter. But I want to kind of test it out. I'd say a strategy where I trade my own strategy as it is, but my actions is a bit different. So I scale in a bit before, and then keep on adding to the trade until it goes against me.
Mm. Coming to the
Yeah,
end of this week.
This is tough. This was actually so horrible. I took this long down here. You see this here? This one took me out of break even from here.
Oh, that's
before this move. And this was for me. This 4-hour candle was 7. And at 7, I'm off the charts. Dude, I don't watch the charts. So I just checked the charts during the next morning. I just see, oh, it moved up. And I was like, oh, dang, that's so good. I'm in profit.
That's the worst feeling.
No, that's a break-even trade. I was like, oh, dude, come on. Especially when we're ranged.
That's rough.
It's such a... it's whatever.
And indeed is a rough one.
I don't really know if we're gonna go bullish or bearish. I mean, it could go either way, to be fair.
Yeah, it's kind of in that deciding point, I guess you can say. Well, really, it's just in a range, and once it breaks out the range, we'll hopefully have a better decision on what direction to trade into. Right now, I've just been
Yeah.
trading, the highs and the lows of the range.
Yeah, that is. I think that's a good thing to point out, Karen, is just adjusting to market conditions, right? If you're normally good at trading trends and you buy pullbacks and trends, or you sell pullbacks and downtrends, whatever, but you notice what you trade, the asset you're trading is stuck in a range, kind of just have to adjust and try to trade the lows, the extremes of the range, right? Long it from the lows, short it from the highs, and until the market decides to start trending again, which can be tough to flip back and forth by that. But I think as traders, we
Yeah.
have to be willing to kind of adapt to the current market conditions, because the market will go through cycles. Indexes are staying strong. We got kind of a little spike below the bull flag on SPX. That's getting bought back up. We're still right at yesterday's high. NAS still consolidating around the highs. The Russell RTY back at its opening print. US 30 is a little weak. I'm still in my US 30 trade. It's currently down about $100. My stops are under the lows on the 5-minute chart.
When gold breakout will be expected? I mean, I don't know if you guys agree, but the larger, let's just say the more time it kind of consolidates, the bigger the breakout will be.
Yeah,
pretty much, because it's accumulating everything and it's preparing. But when
we can't tell you when. Yeah,
nobody knows. Not even
but
the
when
best
it
traders
does
in the
break,
world would know when.
it should break with some power. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I
you
think
just
that
wait
that's
for it.
consistent.
Yeah.
And this is just those times where we got to just remain disciplined and stay patient. And this is it's fun when the markets are trending and you getting easy moves, higher risk to reward trades. But it's in times like this where you don't want to give back all of those profits. And so, like Tyler said, just adjusting with the current market conditions, maybe scaling back on your risk, maybe some of the trades that you take, you know, taking profits sooner, different things like that are minute different things that you could do to accommodate for whatever the current market conditions are. If we're in trending markets and price is giving you great price action, then of course these are trades that you want to, obviously you don't want to full port, but you could take at your regular risk, hold longer generally, kind of like how Nas has just been creating, all-time highs after all-time highs. Those are trades that you can hold for longer periods of time. In times that you're ranging like this, you want to be quicker at taking your profits. At least for me, that's what I do.
Want to see if this holds. This is pretty much the point of control or the balance area of this range before it broke above it.
You're out of your
If it holds,
USD
it
trade,
should
right?
be... Sorry, what?
You're out of your Euro USD short, right?
Yeah, I reached my target, so I'm out. Oh yeah, this is rejecting here.
I took a long yesterday on NAS. I was looking at this what's in play on Edgeful. It's like they do like live data, so like it'll help you identify like gap fills and stuff. So like this is spot. I'm actually gonna change that. So right, like it tells you the NQ gap up and what your target would be if you were trading for the gap fill. But they have this 15-minute orb. Yesterday I was looking at this, and we broke the 15-minute orb the last 5 days, and we had broken the low yesterday. So I was looking at this, and I'm like, all right, so we only get the breakout or the breakdown 23% of the time, and we get the double break 53% of the time. So I was like torn on whether I wanted to short NASDAQ yesterday or go long. And I ended up going long after I looked at this because the double break had the higher probability, and it ended up playing out nicely for me. But it's not something I used a lot, but just checking out that live feature. I wanted to look at the RTY, average true range.
Yeah, I saw your post with the, what was it? It was a double break. No, it was a single break from the London session to New York, was it?
So I was just looking at because we were trading the New York session. I was looking at the New York 15-minute orb, and we had broken the 15-minute orb low. So I took some longs targeting the orb high, which ended up playing out because the double break had a higher probability than the breakdown. So I just thought there was a good chance we could have seen a little bit of a rally and working out that time.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the average true range on RTY.
Chances of breakout in the upper side are higher because 26K level is strong. Very strong, isn't it? I don't really care about what level it is. I don't try and predict where it's gonna break out. I just wait for it to initially just break out and then trade when it does. It starts trending. That's it. So for me it doesn't matter. It could go for a bearish bias or bullish. I'm just gonna trade it the way it goes. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's a good response.
I think it takes a lot of energy.
Exactly what I do.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy trying to predict the market, and nobody's gonna predict the market. I mean, you can trade your setups or predict your setups, of course, but trying to predict where the price is gonna head in a long-term trend is not really no point, especially in gold. Indexes are different due to the fact that it's 65, 75% always upwards. So it's a bit different.
What is the average?
I love how Tyler just sits there and smiles. It's like a kid with candy just popping around everything on Edgeful.
I wanted to see. It's like this is telling me how often the average true range gets respected or not. But I'm trying to see what the average true range actually is. Like you can see, I mean, based off of this, looks like it's around $40.
Yeah, I mean, I think the average true range is, you gotta set it to a.
Oh, I didn't know they added charts on here. Nice, interesting.
Yeah, oh, that's dope. So I mean, I think the regular number of ATR is gonna be 14. The regular setting on the default of RSI is like also 14, and also the majority of indicators is gonna be 14. So 2 weeks. But I think, yeah, there is a lot of indicators with ATR.
I wanted to know. I was trying to figure out the RTY. Like, does it normally move? Yeah, like $35 on average or $40 on average.
Yeah, I actually wanted to stab this buy, but we're trading against a 5-minute engulfing that closed bearish. So I didn't want to take it. That would have been a good momentum candle.
Oh, SPX got the spike into the level. That would have been a nice long. I missed it. US 30 holding up decent. My trade is pretty much break even right now.
Yeah, so the length is 14 on this. I mean, I don't know if I don't really know how
Does it tell
to
you
read this.
the I feel like the Nasdaq's like average true range is like around 300 points basically. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. It's pretty much when, you know, you see the momentum starting to dial down, get respected. But it's kind of hard to read as well, because if you have, let's say, for example, on gold, if you take the length 14, which is going to be 14, depending on what time frame you're in, now we're on 14 on the 1 minute. That means that we have 14 candles backtested. So the data only shows 14 1-minute candles. That's not even a 15-minute. That's a 14-minute candle, you know? So on gold, we would only see the ATR be very low, considering we are in a range. So that's one downside with trying to trade the ATR. So if I go on a 15-minute, it's gonna look very different. You can see. So probably the higher time better. What was it? $25 around
What's
the
that?
average ATR.
Oh, it's
No, you said
$25.
something about like 25.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look at the average true range of the Russell index. My guess is it's around $40. I found it 41.8. So the
Yeah, this is your shark fin, guys. Dude, this points out shark fins everywhere.
yeah.
I've never used the ATR before.
Yeah, I'm just I ended up re-entering that RTY long I was in because I thought it was just spiking me out and working out, and I took a trim, so I'm just holding one, and I was trying to use it just to see kind of what I want to aim for. Because right now we've only arranged about $10, so can move about another 30 points, $30 above the opening print. I would not be mad. That lines up with the upper level I have too. So we'll see how she plays out.
The VWAP is really good.
Yeah, the
People
NAS.
talk about the VWAP.
Yeah, the NAS reaction to VWAP today was strong off the news. Here I'll actually show you.
Yeah, you can kind of see here.
Yeah, okay, you have it up. Yeah, you can see that news candle spike underneath it, and then as soon as we got back up above it, we ripped.
Yeah, but we closed above it, which is some form of indication, I think.
Especially I'm gonna check out Solana and see what it looks like.
Oh, dude, I get heartbreak every time I check Solana. I just see it and I just see my missed setup. Yeah, Trevor, a buy on Solana would be good.
Yeah, I like longs. Just depends where you want to put your stop. We're kind of we kind of on the hourly chart. Oh, I did not mean to click. Breaking out, we have this kind of this trend line breakout. So I think you could see some continued upward movement to 244 here on the hourly chart. And if we can kind of break out of this, we've got this area of resistance here. So if we can break above that, I like Solana for higher.
Yeah, I want to see how. That's the wrong one. Yeah, I respected this area again. Yeah, that's interesting. Might just form a range here, maybe. I want to see if I can trade the crypto bonk.
The crypto what?
Bonk.
It's called bonk. Where is it? Is it here? No. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I definitely did not go to the gym this morning.
No.
Sluggish.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym after this session.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I think I should too.
I gotta get in shape for bowling. I probably should too.
I don't really work out in the mornings. I don't like it. I guess I was exhausted during the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a good setup.
I might try an SPX long.
Yeah, I'm just scouting some setups on crypto here.
I've yet to really trade crypto. I hold positions in crypto, but in terms of like trading it, I haven't
It's
actively
difficult.
traded it.
Yeah, I don't trade it because, like, it's hard to get crypto with good spreads. Like liquidity providers can't really get good spreads on Bitcoin or any other crypto for that fact. But if they do, the commission is going to be so big. So just trading crypto in general is pretty difficult. I think it's more made for, long-term holding.
Let's see. So
Yeah, spreads on crypto is a bit, for beginners, I wouldn't advise trading crypto straight away because you have to take account for spreads or commission depending on the account you have and stuff.
yeah, that's especially in terms of like scalping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's kind of made for crypto that you can't really scalp it. Yeah, not really any good. I mean, Solana is the biggest spread across cryptos and all platform. What's Nasdaq doing? Is it trying to break above? It is. How did you do? Enter NQ or SPX?
I tried an SPX long. We're still battling yesterday's high. ES has a level at 6,102.75 that we got to bounce off of. The level tag I wanted to see tested. But we need to break over yesterday's high to get moving here.
Yeah, the German DAX. Have you seen this?
No, what is it?
This is the German DAX. So every morning, so this is the European one. So when it moves very fast with the Frankfurt or London session, you see here at open, open, open. It's just straight bullish. Doesn't even wick down.
Yeah, geez. Must be selling a lot of Volkswagens
Here as well. Yeah, this might be easiest index to trade when it comes to market open.
Trevor,
Just wake up.
FunderPro does offer CTrader as a trading platform too. I haven't used it personally, but I don't know what the spreads are like there. Looks like I'm going to get stopped on the SPX failing yesterday's high. I'm going to get stopped on US 30 too.
Gold got a, I guess you could say a decent reaction off of this area. Well, not a decent reaction, but it did get a bearish reaction from the area. The weekly is looking like it's going to close bearish too, which is a good sign in terms of going into the next week at the very least.
Yeah, I want to see gold breaking and getting some trending market going.
Yeah. Fridays are not the most fun to trade.
Yeah, I'm just browsing through every index there is, just doing analysis on them.
He's familiarizing himself.
Yeah, and also setting up some. I've added the ESP35, which is the Spain, I think, and then the German DAX index. I'm not quite sure. S35 have to be Spain, I think. But yeah, they have some kind of marking out their potential setups that I kind of want to monitor when they play out. Wait, I'm actually gonna set alerts.
There you go.
Now wait, how do I do it?
You just got to hit the plus on the side, or you can do that. You should be able to right click too. Or nope, don't think you can right click, but you can hit the little plus on the side.
Wait,
near
which plus?
the oh, I think you got to add the plus on your settings. So you got to go to your settings, and literally go to scales and hit add plus button. Wait. What settings is that? Right click and go chart settings. Like right click on the chart and hit chart settings.
Oh, okay.
And then go to scales and check the plus button right there. I think that'll do it.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah. You can't drag it
I
though,
take
so you
okay.
got it.
Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't
Yeah,
drag.
I get
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't drag.
I want it right there. Oh, here we go. Alerts everywhere. Oh, dude, I don't even have a zone on DAX. I just it just keeps rallying. It's like the perfect market structure. High, low, high, low.
It is.
Trevor, I just saw your comment about C Trader. That's a bummer. Indexes seeing some pullback here.
Yeah, Nas is dropping now.
Yeah,
Looks
it's
like.
heading down to its opening print. Nas still above
Oh, wow.
yesterday's high, but we're heading back to it. Mm-mm-mm. YM is at yesterday's low right now. Testing underneath yesterday's low at the moment. Do we fade this move, or is this just a little shakeout before we head higher? That is the question.
That is the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
My
don't want
turn.
to enter anything now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Nas, once
If we can
again, if
get
had it
this.
just come all the way back to this level, I would be much more inclined. But it's just gonna swept
Yeah, we got
underneath
this.
these lows here. Now we're bought right back up.
Yeah, we got an inside up, 3 inside up here. This is a very good bullish pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, looking like she might have swept those lows and is gonna head back up towards the highs. Well, all right, gang. Happy Friday. A little bit of slower action for us today, but thank you guys for tuning in. Let me see one thing. Yeah, so we'll be back on Monday with the live streams. Kyra and Sam, good trading with you guys. Enjoy your weekends. Hope everybody has a good weekend.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Yeah, you
we'll
too,
see
man.
you all on Monday for the New York session. Peace out, guys.
Sounds good.
All right, see you guys.